All right. So glad that is over for now until I'm forced to deal with that again. What is good? Hi. Thank you guys so much for waiting, obviously, and thank you so much for being here. Not sure what that was about, but here we are. What's up, Meow? What's up, Kinez? What's up, Sun Power? What's up, Alyssa? Hello, Vanessa. So you guys, welcome to All Signs Tarot. We're going to be taking a look at new love. So if that's something that you're interested in, then this is definitely the reading or the stream for you. If you are already involved, then you can just apply it that way. But I am going to be talking about, this person's energy towards you, maybe what they do for a living or what their hobbies are, their intentions with you, etc. Are we flirting in the chat? You look fabulous. Oh, thanks. Oh my God. Hi, Jalen. What's up, Madison? Jalen, I love you. It's so nice to see you. Man, Jalen is a old school fan. Back when I was bratty. All right. All right, guys, so welcome to All Signs Tarot. We're going to be taking a look at the new person in your life. If you haven't met them yet, then this will be the person, okay, potentially. If you guys want to book a super chat question to get your cards read during this live, then you are more than welcome to visit hypsee.com/Violetta Alexis, and you can get your cards read there, okay? Or you can book to get your cards read here, whatever. Sorry, that really kind of put me out of my element. We are here for tarot. I thought you were here for me. I'm clearly mistaken. I've been really good, Jalen. It's so nice to see you. God, I haven't seen you for freaking ever. Oh my God, it's been so long. Okay. God, I can already tell this is going to be a really awkward night, honestly. The stream's current bit rate is blah blah is higher than the recommended. I'm so fucking sick of this place. I'm so sick of this. I don't even that just annoyed me to the point where I just want to get offline. That pissed me off so bad. That honestly made me so fucking mad, honestly. That just totally I was in the vibe. I was good. That really fucking pissed me off. That really pissed me off. And then the bitch is breathing in my ear. It's just so annoying. Just absolutely annoying. That just annoyed me. Not only that, but I did not enter the live in that great of a mood. Did you hear that stuff that's coming out about women being experimented on that were captured by Homeland Security, and they were removing their uteruses and doing things that these women did not consent to? That was that's real. I went and fact checked it, but it's real. I just that already put me in a mood, and I was trying to put it out of my mind. And I was like, it's gonna be fine. I'm just gonna come up here and I'm just gonna do my thing. And then the internet thing happened, and it made me just just so beyond irritated. I've been MIA. No, I mean, you're a young lady. You have so much life to live. We totally support you. Thanks. Thank you. Appreciate that. So yeah, somebody asked me if we're going to if we can just do Virgo, and I'm going to say yes, we can. We can go ahead and start with Virgo, and we can work our way. So we'll go from Virgo to Pisces, and then Virgo to Leo, right? Yeah. So Virgo to Leo. Man, that really threw me off. Like watching that thing and then the internet crapping out. Like, let me just drink some coffee and kind of chill out for a little bit before I do anything. Maybe that's what I need. That really like pissed me off. That pissed me off so bad. Oh my god, that made me so mad. Well, it's just YouTube. If it was just YouTube, then my other websites would be working. Like, don't try to push me off the phone, bitch. I'm just fine. I'm so fine. I work in a prison now. That was not on my bingo card for what Jalen is doing in 2025. I'm not gonna lie. That was not on my bingo card. Do you like it? Do you enjoy it? That sounds awful. Honestly. They did that to Native American. They do it too, but you would just think, I understand that. I know that they've done that. They did that to Black women, they've done that to Native American women. They've done it to women in general, but the fact that it's happening like even now is so like scary. Everything is fine. Right. Oh my God. You know what? I'm just ready to have a nice weekend, right? Maybe just doing some meditating and some writing and maybe some working out. Maybe I'll switch it up a little, you know? Maybe I'll actually go where the people are. You know? I'm a creature of routine. Of course, the agenda is always there. What a monster. What an absolute monster. It's like, I'll be honest, sorry. It's so very awkward to be like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to go live and I'm going to read pictures on cards today," when like what's going on is absolutely diabolical. It's so hard for me not to talk about it because I am such a talker. It's so hard for me not to talk about these things. I'm just like, yeah, guys, let's talk about like the new person coming in your life when like there's shit coming out about people, women getting mutilated and having these non-consensual like abortions and like removing uteruses. What? Amongst all of the other stuff. It's so hard for me to just like stay in this character when that stuff is happening. You know what I mean? I just can't even believe some of the stuff. I really can't. It's so hard for me to just pretend like I don't see it and like get up and work every day and put on a face, you know? It's so hard. Even the history of how birth control was created is super disturbing. All about you. I mean, like, you think about it, right? They experimented with Depo-Provera on animals, like dogs, and then stopped when the dogs were getting cancerous tumors, and then they were giving it out to poor communities, to these women, despite the tests that they did. By the way, they gave me that, didn't explain any of the side effects whatsoever. It ended up causing me gallbladder disease, and I had to get my gallbladder removed. Sometimes I really feel like it's intentional. It very much feels intentional. What's up, Dominic? You know what I'm saying? it feels yeah, it feels really intentional. So, but the show must go on, you know? Yeah, she was just like, I went in the office one day and I was like begging because I already had my second baby and I begged him. I was like, please just get snipped. He's like, I'm not doing that. I'm like, okay, so I can push out two babies, but you just can't get the little snippety snip. Got it. Right. And so I went there and it's just like, all right, let's do it. This is a really good one. You only have to get a shot every blah, 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 and she just bent me over and put it in my butt cheek and sent me on my way. I had no idea um that it was going to cause me gallbladder disease. And by the way, that ended up being like the worst thing ever, is making that like sacrifice. It ended up being like one of my biggest mistakes. Honestly, it was awful. Oh my god, meow. That sounds awful. Yeah, it's all good, Madison. I mean, this was back in 2014 when that happened. Not worth it. Not worth it, honestly. All right. So I'm going to get off of my soapbox. I needed to just kind of chill out for a minute. I want you guys to know that so it really is so hard for me to come up here sometimes, like with everything that's going on, and just pretend like everything's fine, because I feel like sometimes I just want to not be informed, you know? Like I wish I just had maybe a couple of brain cells that I was just trying to rub together, right? And I had absolutely no interest or even had not been exposed. So I could just, oh, like what? I have no idea what's going on. But I just cannot. And like, it's so hard to come up here sometimes and just let's pull cards, But I have to remember that this is sometimes the way that people escape, right? I have my own way of trying to escape, and other people have theirs. And so I guess sometimes escapism, a little bit, is maybe the best way to deal with things when you don't really have control, right? So that is what I will try to provide as best as I can. So, let's go ahead and take a look at a new person that may be coming into your life. If you are already dealing with somebody romantically, like I said, then it could quite literally be this person, okay? But this is mainly focused on people who are interested in new love. These are usually single people or maybe people who are dating around, okay? I haven't done one of these in a really long time, but a guy recommended, who's like, hey, can you do something for singles? And I was like, why the hell not? Just like she came in here and asked me to start with Virgo. Sure. Why the hell not? Why does it even matter anymore? So I'm going to do that. If you guys want to book a super chat question to get your cards read during this live, then you can go ahead and visit hypsee.com/Violetta Alexis. If you book within the next 10 minutes, then you can get a discount for 15% off. So anybody that books before 7 p.m. EST to get your cards read during the live, you will get 15% off of your super chat. What's up, Bryant? How you doing? Speak your mind, don't stop. That's how ideas are exchanged too. Absolutely. But I really sometimes you just got to keep your political opinions to yourself. Sometimes, especially like in your profession or in your trying to be professional, right? I try not to involve that because it can get a little, but I'm a pretty outspoken person, and I am very Mars on the 10th house, baby. It's really hard for me to just shut the fuck up, right? So without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look here. We're starting with Virgo, I think, right? Yeah. All right. Thanks, Lori. Okay. So I think the way that I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it with how this person is portraying themselves to you, what their kind of energy is like in general, what their energy is like towards you. I'm going to pull a couple of cards to see kind of maybe like what they do or maybe what they're into, like as far as like a career or something like that. Um, and then I'm going to see what their intentions are with you. So, if you are on the lookout for love, something to kind of keep in mind here. So, let's start with Virgo. Um, all right, Virgo, what's going on? I hope you guys are doing really, really well. Let's go ahead and see who is coming towards you if you are in the market. Let me make sure that this is okay, good. Why is that? Why is that so large? Hold on. Why is that so zoomed in like that? I don't think I did that. Did I do that? So weird. Okay. All right, cool. All right, Virgo, let's go ahead and see. Sorry, y'all know I have to have it perfect. This person's energy towards you, Virgo, will be the Knight of Cups. Their job or a very important hobby of theirs, something that they may be known for, is the Ace of Pentacles, and their intention towards you is the Eight of Pentacles. I feel like this is a really hard worker, somebody who busts their ass. I see Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio here, but it could also be another Virgo. So let's see that Knight of Cups. What's that? Ace of Swords reversed, Temperance reversed. There's Taurus and Sagittarius here as well. This is somebody that is likely to be pretty vulnerable with you. They'll likely be very open with you. This may be somebody who's very creative or maybe romantic. Maybe they write poetry. Maybe they sing. Maybe they may do something very creative, or they may come off as somebody quite creative. But I also feel like this is somebody who you may be surprised at how vulnerable they actually are, or even maybe how emotionally intelligent they are. But that Ace of Swords reversed is interesting because you may feel like they're not telling you everything that they're thinking. So they may be quite vulnerable in nature, but you may be wondering, does this person actually want a commitment? You may feel like they're not being 100% honest with you about everything. Temperance reversed. It's almost like you see them as somebody who, like, something is disturbing them under the surface is what it feels like, but it's almost as if they're not telling you what it is, or you feel like they're hiding something. Not in like a ooh, like that kind of way, just like there's something that's upsetting them or something that's bothering them, where they don't feel at peace is almost what it looks like. And you may feel like they're not really telling you what it's about. What is it about? The King of Swords reversed. So I really want you to be careful. I'm not getting necessarily like a love bomber type, but what I am getting is somebody who may want things to move relatively quickly. This may be somebody who you feel like they want to jump into a relationship right away, or, they're trying to lock it down, right? But you may be feeling like I mean, this is so Virgoan to be viewing somebody like this because you're looking at them and they have all the frills and they're really romantic and all of these things, but you're like, this isn't very logical. Like, you want to go to Reno and marry me like yesterday, and I just met you, like, or something. And it's not, I'm not saying it's that dramatic, okay, but there is this element of this doesn't really like make sense. you know and you could feel like they're overdoing it in some way. You may view them as somebody who's overdoing it. Now, I'm not saying that they're like a bad person or anything like that, but as far as you know being romantic, it just looks like that all logic kind of goes out the window. And that's what happens in love sometimes, right? The logic does quite literally go out the window. So let's kind of see what they might do for work. The Ace of Pentacles, the Four of Pentacles, and the Six of Pentacles. Well, I will say this, they're more than likely in finance. They're probably in finance. They may be somebody who's a bit of a self-starter. Maybe they kind of own their own business. This can be somebody who is maybe into health and wellness as well, because something to think about when it comes to the Pentacle energy. It's not just about finances; it's also about health. Okay, because it can be about your physical body. So this can be somebody who's in the health industry, or maybe they focus on property or buying property, selling property. Maybe they're an investor or some kind of financial advisor, especially in helping people save money of sorts. Okay. Maybe they're, like I said, a small business owner, something like that. But it definitely feels like it's something in regards to the financial systems. Okay. Maybe they're like a CPA, but that Ace of Pentacles tells me that there's like a newness to it. Like maybe they're new in their field, or this can be somebody who helps people maybe get started with businesses or something like that. So you can probably count on this person being a little bit more entrepreneurial in some kind of way, but it definitely feels quite financial. So then we have the Eight of Pentacles with the Magician. Well, that's you. And the Seven of Cups. What's the Seven of Cups? The Page of Cups reversed. Okay. So, with their intention with you being the Eight of Pentacles, this is somebody that's really willing to put in the work. They have the intent to put in the work. I don't think that this is somebody who is, just looking to get down for a good night and call it a day. I really feel like they're maybe trying to work on meeting some kind of standard that perhaps you have set. I think this is somebody who's likely willing to put a lot of their focus onto you. This person may kind of, mm, how do I say? Well, I'm just gonna fucking say it. Sexualize you. That Seven of Cups is kind of like the fantasy, a little bit obsessive in some way. This person may be seeking other options, but if it's just like brand new, then like, they're not really at fault, right? So I do feel like this person does sexualize you quite a bit, or will sexualize you if you have not met them. Or they may kind of live in fantasy land about you a bit. But I do feel like they also want to work on it, and they likely want to meet your standard, because I feel like they view you as the Magician, which is your major arcana. So let's see what your advice is. The Fool and the Moon. It's like, yeah, travel light. Don't bring your baggage with you, on the road to this relationship or this connection. But also listen to your instincts, right? Listen to your instincts. The Fool is not an idiot. He, has some baggage from his past, but he's a little bit wiser with it now. And he doesn't want to take, or he, whatever, doesn't want to take that baggage with her or him onto this journey. It doesn't mean that they're stupid. It just means that they are trusting that they will overcome and listen to their intuition with that moon card there. So something to kind of think about there, Virgo. But good luck. Let me know how it goes. Thank you so much. I hope you will excuse me, like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you would like to book a super chat question and get your cards read during the live, then you can do so at hypsee.com/Violetta Alexis. Damn, do I really not have any more? Okay. All right. All right. 1 second. We're gonna move on to Libra now. God, that really pissed me off. God, it just put me in a weird mood. I'm in a weird mood now. Really hate that. Okay. All right, Libra. What's going on, Libra? I hope you guys are doing well. Let's go ahead and see new love if in your life if you're looking for it. This person's energy towards you is the High Priestess, okay? What they may do for work is the Seven of Swords. And then we have the Page of Swords reversed for their intention with you. So let's go ahead and clarify that High Priestess first. The Page of Wands reversed. And the Queen of Cups. This may be a feminine, okay? So, you know, if you're a feminine energy Libra, then this may be reversed. Or, hey, you know, if you're a feminine and you're into women, great. The High Priestess with the Page of Wands reversed and the Queen of Cups, you're likely going to view this as somebody very sexy. You know, the High Priestess can be the very desirable woman, so to speak. This can be somebody who is into tarot or into astrology or into the occult. This is somebody who you can feel like has this inner knowing or inner intelligence, but maybe they don't talk too much, or there's this kind of silent wisdom about this person, and you may feel like they very much want an honest to God relationship. This is a very watery energy with that High Priestess there, which is the moon and Pisces, and then the Queen of Cups there, which is Cancerian. So it's very watery, it's very feminine, it is very sensitive, it's very intuitive. So that may be how you view this person. The Page of Wands reversed makes me feel like they're not really initiating something. It's more so like they're just in receiver mode, which is very feminine, right? Feminine energy is receptive. It kind of waits to be approached in a way, right? So you may feel like this person doesn't really initiate, but it may be because they're assuming that you will. So, you know, I think that if you want this person, if you're interested in this person, then you're going to need to initiate conversation. You're going to need to kind of, I don't want to say do the work, but you're going to need to initiate. You're going to have to be brave enough and courageous enough to initiate. And I feel like this is probably a very beautiful person, at least the way that they're showing up. They're very loving. They're very kind. They're very sweet, all of those good things. As far as their career, so we have the Seven of Swords with the King of Wands reversed. And the Eight of, oh, I feel like for some of you, this person may put people in jail. Okay. This can be somebody who is you know, in computers, you know, sometimes in extreme cases, it can be like a hacker, you know, or like a prison guard, or, you know, maybe it's a mental health advocate. Maybe this is somebody who works with special need, not special aids. Jesus Christ. Special needs. I am so sorry. It has just been a very strange day, okay? Um, you know, special needs. This can be somebody who, um, you know, avoids men with really shitty egos, even though I'm not, you know, I'm not saying that's their career, but with that, for that Seven of Swords to be there with the King of Wands reverse, this may be somebody who avoids a certain kind of man as well. And so I feel like this is kind of a part of who they are. So I feel like they probably work in computers or something in regards to the mental health industry, or, you know, maybe, like I said, special needs, or maybe in the justice system as well. You can see people like the Eight of Swords working in that kind of field. You know, in very extreme cases, this can be like somebody who works for the Secret Service or somebody who's a spy as well. So something to kind of think about. Now, their intention with you, the Page of Swords reversed, the Devil reversed, the Ace of Wands reversed. I really feel like this is somebody who is basically going to assume what they feel like they know about you, um, unless you show them differently. So I feel like with the Page of Swords reversed, they probably want more information, but this may be somebody who is a little bit of a skeptic. I mean, especially with that Seven of Swords there. So this may be somebody who will automatically assume that, you know, you don't have good intentions. You know, this can be somebody who is very aware of people or the world around them. This may be somebody who has been through a lot in some way, and so they can be a little apprehensive to really initiate anything. But I think that this is somebody who truly wants love, like truly wants love. Okay. But I will say they seem to be a little bit of a skeptic. You know, they seem to be a bit of a skeptic. Let's see your advice. The Five of Cups, the Two of Swords reverse. If you have some old stuff that you need to clean up before you start like talking to this person or messing with this person, I think it's advisable that you deal with it. Or if there's still some baggage that maybe you have, be honest about it. Especially if you start to get serious with this person, it's going to be important for you to be honest about some past things that maybe are a little uncomfortable to talk about, okay? Cuz I feel like if there's even like a hint of a lie or something like this, first of all, this person is going to know. With the high priestess there, they're going to know. It's going to be very difficult to hide things from this person anyway, so I feel like it's better it's better off just to be truthful, okay? So, Libra, that is what I have for you. Thank you so much. I hope that you will like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you would like to book a super chat question to get your cards read during this live, then you can head on over to hypsee.com/Violetta Alexis, and you can go ahead and you can book there. Okay, Scorpio. What's going on, Scorpio? I hope that you guys are doing well. Let's go ahead and see what's going on in regards to new love in your life. Okay, the sun could be a Leo. What they do for work is the Page of Pentacles. Okay, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy, very earthy. And the Nine of Cups reversed for their energy, excuse me, their intentions. Okay. All right, well, let's see that sun. The Three of Wands and the Seven of Wands. Okay. Um, this person seems to be very creative, probably very honest is what I'm getting for some reason. Very transparent. You know, the sun is somebody, it's kind of like shining a light on everything and everyone, right? It's like they walk into a room and they just have that kind of sparkle. That's how you're going to view this person. This may be somebody who has a lot of confidence as well and a lot of optimism. And this can be somebody who's very, um, receptive to people, but at the same time, they have boundaries. This is not somebody who's afraid to stand up for themselves. You may feel as well like this person kind of has their guard up, not in like a nasty way, but this can be somebody who maybe is very committed to protecting themselves. maybe protecting their reputation, or this may be somebody who has a lot of like haters. Okay, the Seven of Wands there is a guy on traditional Rider-Waite tarot. And this can be a woman too, but and this person, you see them and they're like fighting off these other people, and it's because these people are trying to take this one person down. They want something that this person has. They want their spot in some way. And so you may feel like while this person is open and honest and creative and fun and has a smile on their face a lot, you may feel like there's a bit of a backstory there. Like, this is somebody who has dealt with a lot of maybe shitty people, or maybe some adversaries, but I think that this is somebody who you're going to see as being very open, but also having healthy boundaries. So I actually really like this energy. This is probably my favorite energy so far. As far as careers, we have the Page of Pentacles, we have the Six of Wands, and the Hermit reversed. So there's some Virgo energy. This could be somebody who's in the public eye, with that Six of Wands there. They may be known for, maybe they're starting a business, maybe they have their own business, maybe there's an aspiring entrepreneur, but maybe they're still kind of in the beginning of things. Maybe they are very much applauded for their ideas or the efforts that they put in. This is somebody that's a pretty hard worker. I think that they're also highly self-aware, and I think that this is probably somebody who's applauded, or they have a lot of eyes on them, um, because of their intelligence or their sense of self-awareness. I think that this is also somebody who's likely been through a bit of a dark night of the soul. When you see the Hermit reversed and it's surrounded by positive cards, which it is, then this usually means that this is somebody who has gone through a pretty bad time or a dark time and has come out wiser and intelligent and more independent, where they're not really looking for external validation anymore, but yet with that Six of Wands, they still get it. So I really like this energy. I'm not so keen on their intentions, but obviously we will have to see. So, with their intentions, we have the Nine of Cups reversed, the Chariot reversed, and the King of Cups. Ooh, well, that's Scorpio. So if you are a masculine and this person is a feminine, mm, this person may want an actual relationship with you. But the Nine of Cups reversed can mean that they may feel like they are not what you want. They may feel like maybe you aren't what they want, but I don't think that's the case. It makes me feel like there's more of a bit of a fear for some reason. Why is that? The Ace of Cups reverse. Give me one more. The Judgment. Ooh, it's almost like that's weird, because here it's like they show this very happy-go-lucky, yeah, right, like vibe, but it's almost like they're afraid to really be seen. Like at the depths, it's like they're afraid to be seen. I think that this person has a hefty past, and I feel like that's part of the reason why. Now if you are a feminine and this person's a masculine, they're not going to come in charging. Like, they're not gonna be like, "Oh, yeah, let's go out and let's do all this." They're going to more so just be holding space for you. I think that this person wants a relationship with you, genuinely wants a relationship, but they may have insecurities that they don't check off all of the boxes. And I feel like there are likely some fears around that because the Chariot's in reverse, which tells me that there's fears involved here. But that King of Cups tells me that they want to show up for you, but they may not be super vulnerable. So it feels like there's a fear to be seen. Let's see your advice, Scorpio. Justice reversed, the Nine of Pentacles reversed. If you feel like you have to contort yourself or overdo it in order to make this reciprocal, or don't do that, because I feel like you're going to sabotage yourself. I think it's important for you to focus on your own level of independence and being okay with being alone, not getting in this like weird obsessive codependency thing with this person. I think it's important that you remain with the focus on yourself more than anything, which I think is just going to make this person more attracted to you. But don't try to overdo it in some kind of way, or over promise and under deliver, because I feel like you're going to kind of cut yourself off at the knees if you do that. Okay. So Scorpio, that is what I have for you. Thank you so much. I hope that you will like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to book a super chat question to get your cards read during the live, then you can do so at hypsee.com/Violetta Alexis. Thanks a lot, Scorpio. Take it easy. All right, let's go ahead and move on to Sagittarius. This person's energy towards you is the Four of Wands reversed. Their career, the Nine of Swords, and the Death card. That is for their intention. Okay, well, this is interesting. Let's see that Four of Wands reversed. The Tower reversed, the Strength. Woo! God. Tough crowd. I'll be totally honest with you, Sagittarius. This seems to me like somebody who is really not letting you in. Um, if anything, it really feels like this is somebody who is trying to keep you at arm's length to a degree where you feel as though you can't even really get to know them. It makes me feel like there's something from the past that they're still hanging on to. I don't know. Maybe it's an old relationship. Maybe it's a divorce. Maybe it is some kind of grudge that they have towards another person and they can't get over it. And so they feel like they have to be strong and they have to hold back, and but you can feel like awkward. Like, all right, well, like you're trying to talk, like you guys go to a concert and like you're trying to talk to them, right? And they have like a beer in their hand and they're like, 3 feet away from you, like keeping their distance, or you just feel like very awkward. Like they're giving you these 1-word answers and you're just like, okay, so it feels like they're still hanging on to something. There's something that you may feel they need to release or let go of in order to open themselves up to you a little bit more. So it just feels like they're very much holding back more than anything, whoever this person is. They could be a Leo, okay? They could be Martian in nature, so Aries, strong Aries or Scorpio placements, but it's a very like, if you were to cuddle this person, it'd feel like cuddling a fucking bag of rocks, you know what I mean? So as far as the career, this person's career, we have the Nine of Swords, the Three of Swords, and we have the Queen of Wands. So I feel like this is somebody who is a leader in their field. This can be somebody who maybe leads people in the right direction after like grief. This can be a mental health worker. This can be somebody who maybe the Queen of Wands can be like the performer, okay? And the Three of Swords and the Nine of Swords, this person may, maybe they do spoken word, right? Every Wednesday night at the local cafe, and they talk about grief and they talk about these things. Or maybe this is somebody who leads people in the right direction after some kind of crisis or grief situation. But it feels like it's something maybe around mental health, but they seem to be a leader in that regard, or potentially some kind of performer. But I feel like they're likely respected in their line of work. They may have a lot of people that are jealous of them. This can be somebody who, people find very attractive as well. The Death card. for this person's intent with you. The Four of Cups reversed and the Hangman reversed. Jesus Christ. I'm going to be totally honest with you. I feel like this person has no problem ending things and cutting them off, cutting it off like right where it is. If they feel like you're not willing to make sacrifices, or they feel like you're not willing to see their perspective, or so I feel like they'll be very quick to cut it off or end things if it's not moving in the direction that they want, right? And I guess that's their prerogative. But I also feel like this person may attempt to change you specifically. Like their intent with you specifically may be to change you and your perspective and kill your ego. Okay. Um, I don't feel like it's necessarily a bad intention. I think that this is just kind of who they are. Like they may be very scorpionic or Virgo-ish, where they try to get down to the nitty-gritty of the why you're like this, and why you talk like this, or why you think this way, and they may try to change that, or you know what I mean, they may figure out the root of a potential problem that they may see. Your advice, the World and the Five of Pentacles. So this is about approaching the situation very maturely. The World is Saturnian in nature. This is where we have come to completion in regards to some kind of journey that we've been on for a while. And the Five of Pentacles here tells me that uh if it comes to like your abandonment issues, or if you're thinking about like ghosting this person, for instance, don't do that. Like it's telling you to take the mature way. It's telling you to offer closure if it doesn't work out. But it also can be telling you that there's an up leveling in your life that's very much needed, and it can be around either your finances, your abandonment wounds, or just where you feel like you're lacking, whether it's you're actually lacking somewhere, or if it's that it's just this self-worth or self-value issue that you still have attached to you. So there needs to be some kind of level of closure here in regards to that, or I feel like this person is going to dig it out anyway. I feel like it's going to be difficult. I do think that this person is likely very strong in intellect. So that is what I have for you, Sagittarius. Thank you so much. I hope that you will like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you would like to book a super chat question to get your cards read during this live, then you can do so at hypsee.com/Violetta Alexis. All right, let's go ahead and move on to Capricorn. What's going on, Capricorn? How are you guys? Welcome. Let's go ahead and see this new person, or maybe it's somebody that you're already talking to, whatever the case. Let's go ahead and see the vibe for July. Five of Swords reversed for how you're going to see this person. The Ten of Cups for their career or what they're involved in. And the Six of Cups reversed for their intentions. So let's see that Five of Swords reversed. Seven of Pentacles and the Knight of Swords reversed. I don't feel like they're going to rush in to anything. This is more of a passive character. They're probably going to be doing a lot more listening than talking, probably a lot more listening than taking action. This is somebody who you're probably going to perceive as really taking their time when making a decision about relationships, about love relationships, about this relationship, about this dynamic, whatever it is. You may feel like this person is also invested in something or someone else, which may kind of make you wonder a little bit. But ultimately, I don't really see this person playing any games or trying to fuck with your head or anything like that. At least that's not how you're perceiving it. But I think that this may get on your nerves a little bit. Because you could feel like they're not really giving you very much to work with. You could even feel like they are a little impatient with how slow something is going in some way. So maybe it's you that wants to take the time, and they don't want to wait that long, or they don't want to wait that long to get in the bedroom with you, or they don't want to wait that long to get into a relationship with you, or whatever it may be. So you may kind of look at them like they're a bit triggered by that, like they're just impatient, or they want things too quickly. But you may feel like they're not even really communicating that to you. So that can get kind of confusing. So, in regards to their career or what they do for a living or whatever, we have the 10 of Cups. So, the 10 of Cups is usually in relation to like fame or publicity in some way. It can be a property investor. This can be sales. This can be family counselors. This can be, even like somebody who wants to be a homemaker, maybe. Okay, in some cases. But the 10 of Cups can be something that is property related or family related, right? Maybe this person is a social worker, or maybe this person helps families get back on their feet, or something like that. The Emperor reversed and the Three of Pentacles. I'm not a big fan of the Emperor reversed. This can be somebody who could actually uh be a lot bigger than they are, or seek a higher position, but they may not want it, like, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, there's nothing wrong with being able to be in power and not wanting that power. And usually the people that don't want the power but could have it are usually the people that deserve it the most, right? So I don't want to give this person too much flack. I don't feel like they're a bad person. I just feel like they're happy with where they are. I think this is somebody who probably works really well with people. This may be somebody who, helps teach children or families something. Okay. They may teach children in some kind of way, but I feel like this is somebody who is probably and I say that because the Emperor reverse is surrounded by two pretty positive cards, which is the 10 of Cups and the Three of Pentacles. So it just feels like this person could be more powerful in their career, but it's almost like they detest it, or they don't really want it for some reason. Why is that? I just heard the higher you fly, the harder you'll fall. I just heard that. I feel like this person does not want to be up there, because that's when they really come for you, right? So with the Six of Cups reversed, the Queen of Pentacles reversed, and yeah, this person may have a couple of different options. Okay, something to kind of keep in mind there. This person may be holding a grudge still. There could be some growing up that they need to do from the past, or this can be somebody who's waiting for you to grow up. Okay, especially if you're a feminine energy, they could be trying to get more out of you. Maybe trying to actually get into a relationship with you, but you may be responding in a way that is, quite frankly, not attractive to them, okay, or something that they don't like, or it's that this person is still dealing with a lot of internal insecurities. And so they may be kind of still holding on to that. And it can end up trickling into the relationship, and basically sabotaging it or fucking it up in some way. Your advice is the Knight of Pentacles reversed and the Nine of Wands reversed. I mean, I feel like sometimes good things take time, so that can be something as well. But this is telling you probably to take it slow. Don't try to rush into anything too quickly, because I feel like it's probably going to fuck it up. So, if you do feel like this person is rushing you, don't give in to that. Or if this person is trying to take their time, don't try to rush them. Don't try to do it. I feel like good things do take time. I feel like it may be worth it to really put in the work, but of course, you know what's best for you. So, and try not to get too in your head about what this person thinks about you. You may end up like getting really paranoid about how this person feels about you or what they think about you, and it could really like, first of all, it could fuck with your head, but secondly, it could kind of mess with the relationship a little bit. Okay, so something to kind of think about, Capricorn. Capricorn, that is what I have for you. Thank you so much. I hope that you will like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you would like to book a super chat question to get your cards read during this live stream, then you can do so at hypsee.com/Violetta Alexis. Thanks a lot. Why did that taste so weird? All right, let's go ahead and take a look at Aquarius. What is going on, Aquarius? How are you? Let's go ahead and take a look at the person that may be coming into your life, or maybe it's somebody that you are already dealing with. What's up, Islay? All right, Aquarius, this person's energy towards you, the Three of Cups. The Queen of Swords reversed for their career or their hobby or what they do. Their intention with you is the Lovers. Okay, let's see that Three of Cups. Two of Cups. Two of Wands reversed. Okay. I mean, I don't hate it. You may meet this person if you haven't met this person yet. You may meet this person when you're kind of out and about doing your thing, when you're socializing, maybe when you're having some drinks or whatever. And they may kind of come off as just very friendly at first, or maybe you already know them and you guys are hanging out with some, collective friends, or maybe you guys are having a little bit of a reconciliation or whatever it may be. But nonetheless, it seems like you're looking at this person like a friend, but you may feel like they could be more. So for some of you, it can be that this connection starts out as a friendship and ends up leaning into more over time. But you can feel like with that Two of Wands reverse, like they're nervous or they're not really sure, or you guys are connecting on a very strong emotional level. But it may feel like they're just trying to keep it friendly because of their fear or because of their apprehension, or they're not really sure. Maybe you know that they look at you and think that you're not really sure about how you feel. Whatever the case is, it's a very nurturing. It's like Mercury in Cancer, Three of Cups. The Two of Cups is Venus in Cancer. It's very protective, it's very loving, it's a very uh connective. It's just very, it's nice. It's just very sweet. It's a very sweet connection, but you could feel like they're a little nervous. Tell me about that Two of Wands reversed. Two of Pentacles. It's almost like they're trying to just kind of be practical, maybe take it slow a little bit, right? Even though they likely want to jump right in, or they likely want more, but they may be trying to keep it friendly, but at the same time, kind of trying to feel you out at the same time. That's pretty much it. This person's career, or maybe their hobbies, or what they kind of do in their free time, or what they do for a living. So the Queen of Swords in regards to a career can be like a lecturer or like a judge. This can be somebody who works in communications. This can be somebody who is a professor, or maybe they're a manager, right? They're a manager of some kind of government building, or right, something like that. But it can also be somebody who like works in a university. Now, I find it kind of interesting that the Queen of Swords is reversed, because it makes me feel like this person may be a bit of a, I don't want to say a tyrant, but they can be, maybe quite vicious in their line of work. This can be maybe somebody who's a little feared. This can be somebody as well who really does work like maybe as a lawyer or in law in some way, and really makes things quite dramatic. And what I mean by that is like think about Judge Judy. You know what I mean? Think about Judge Judy. That's kind of how I'm viewing this person a little bit. Like, I feel like this is somebody who in their line of work can definitely make somebody walk out of the room with their tail between their legs, with less of an ego than when they walked in to the room. Do you know what I'm saying? So this person may be very feared. However, I think that this person in their career may be somebody as well who tends to get a little illogical or overly emotional. So this can be somebody who maybe makes some, like, they may not be able to handle certain things and just be like, fuck it, I'm out of here, right? And they just like leave work, or they blow off a project or something because they get really emotional about it. Literally what I almost did at the beginning of the stream, honestly. So yeah. So then we have the Lovers, the Eight of Wands reversed, and the Knight of Wands for this person's intention with you. So the intentions are fairly good. Okay. I think that maybe there's once again a little bit of nervousness. They're not really sure how to communicate certain things, but they want to. The Lovers is Gemini energy. It's about making higher self decisions. It's about connecting with another person. The Knight of Wands is very much about passion and, taking action towards another person and, having fun at the same time, right? And so I feel like this person wants to do that. Tell me about that. Eight of Wands reverse, the Five of Wands. They seem to be very conflicted sometimes when it comes to, or they may be conflicted in the future with like communicating to you and with about certain things, or this may be somebody who lives at a distance from you as well. So it can be that travel plans are kind of up in the air sometimes, or whatever the case may be. But I feel like they want true intimacy. I don't feel like this is a bad person, but I do feel like they're emotional. The Star reversed and the Wheel of Fortune reversed for your advice. So basically, like the way that you've been doing things before, Aquarius, is not going to work moving forward. So if you have been living a certain way in regards to your relationships or initiating relationships in a certain way for a very long time, and you realize that that is not that has not been working for you, then you're going to have to learn to do it differently. It's telling you not to take your old habits and bring that into here, because if you do, and I'm talking about your negative ones, if you do, it's already failed. It's already failed. And so it's asking you to be wiser through your own level of experience and to try to have a little faith as well. Try to have a little faith, not just in like this particular connection, but also in yourself, and understanding that you can heal and you can change the way that you enter relationships. Okay. So that is what I have for you, Aquarius. Thank you so much. I hope that you will like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you would like to book a super chat question to get your cards read during this live, then you can do so at hypsee.com/Violetta Alexis. That water tasted fucking weird. All right, let's go ahead and move on to Pisces. What's up, underdog? How are you? Pisces, hello. I hope you guys are doing really, really well. Let's go ahead and see um, you and this person. Ew. Immediately no. King of Pentacles reversed for this person. Four of Swords for their line of work. And then we have the Two of Wands for their intention with you. So let's go ahead and see that King of Pentacles reversed. Ew. Oh, God. The Five of Pentacles and the Five of Cups. Personally, it's not for me. Um, all right. Well, I'm just gonna sock it to you, buddy. Okay. So in regards to, how this person is portraying themselves to you, they may be a user. Okay. This may be somebody who tries to ride on your coattails, or this may be somebody who is super broke and is just trying to, move in with you to split bills, or maybe they are um they keep fucking up their life financially and they're looking for you to save them. This is not a provider. This is somebody who, like asks you out to dinner and then expects you to pay it. That's kind of like the King of Pentacles reverse. I want to see that Five of Cups, the Knight of Wands. I feel like this person is still focused on somebody else, maybe that they have some passion for, or if this actually is somebody you've been involved with for a little bit of time, then this may be somebody who still has, this kind of mopey energy about them in regards to your guys' past. Maybe they're feeling a little bit of a victim about things. Maybe they've been a bit inconsistent in regards to their romantic endeavors, whether that has anything to do with you or not. I just don't like it. It's not my favorite. Like, I would definitely kick this person out of bed for eating crackers. You know what I'm saying? This person would not. So I think that but, you should, of course, make your own decisions. I feel like when you meet this person, because of those two fives are there, It's like this person is going through a really, like, shitty ending of something, okay? Now, if I dare to try to paint it in a positive light, this can be just somebody who feels insecure because they don't have their shit together. And that's okay. If somebody's just trying to get on their feet and they're really trying, it doesn't mean that they're undeserving of love. They're just in a bad position. And so this person may be looking back and having a lot of regrets about how inconsistent or stupid they were with their finances growing up or whatever it may be, okay? But it's kind of what I'm getting. As far as their career, the Four of Swords is here with the Seven of Pentacles reversed and the King of Wands. Well, sometimes with the Four of Swords, these can be like, um, what are those people that do that? Acupuncture. They can do acupuncture. This can be somebody who works in the medical field or the mental health field, or somebody who maybe does administrative work, legal work. This can be a healthcare provider. This can be like somebody who's involved with tourism or hospitality in some way. But nonetheless, if it's not that, then it can just be a job that maybe is a little bit more lax, I guess you could say. This could also be somebody who really has the heart of an entrepreneur, but maybe they haven't invested fully in that yet. I do think that they're either a leader in their line of work, or maybe they're really, really good at their job or whatever it is. But this may also be somebody who on the side is some kind of entrepreneur or whatever. Maybe they have the potential to be that. Their intention with you is the Two of Wands, the Seven of Cups reversed, and the Three of Swords. Tell me about that Seven of Cups reversed, the Nine of Swords. It seems like they're trying to be very realistic about their situation, which I think that they're worried about. I think that they very much are probably trying to make plans with you in some way, but those plans seem to be attached to a lot of heartbreak, or this person is still hurting over something. This person is going through like a very stressful situation, is what it seems like. For some of you, this actually is a past person, because there's just so much, like with the Five of Pentacles, the Five of Cups, the Three of Swords. It's a lot, so it makes me feel like there's some residual energy between you and this person, or it's that they're bringing some kind of baggage into this connection. So something to kind of think about when entering a connection or a dynamic with this person. But it feels like they're trying to make plans. It feels like they're trying to let the past go and do things differently, or come out of their comfort zone in order to have a bit of a different result moving forward. But they're stressed about it. Your advice, Ace of Pentacles reversed, Ten of Swords. See, I feel like I'm starting to think that this is like a past person or something. Ace of Pentacles reversed and the Ten of Swords reversed. I mean, for some of you, I'm going to be 100% with you. You got to let it go. Like, you have to let this go. Okay. For some of you, it's really that time. Like, if this is a past person, I know that we're talking about new love, but if it is, it may really be time to let this go. If that's not the case, then it can be saying new seeds have to be planted. But it's not that we're necessarily attempting to force each other to grow. We just have to remove the things that's not allowing growth. So, what is that? Is that alcohol? Are we getting shit faced every night? Are we, getting the cops called on us because we're having these brawl out fights? Or, are we still involved with past people? What is it? And if both parties, or the party that has that on their side is not willing to remove that, it's going to be very, very difficult for anything to really grow or produce fruit, right? And that is because a bunch of weeds are in the fucking garden. So if that's not removed, then what are you going to do, right? So that is what I have for you, Pisces. Thank you so much. I hope you will like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to book a super chat question, then you can do so at hypsee.com/Violetta Alexis. All right. What the fuck, Brian? You're welcome, meow. No problem. I don't know what happened to this water, but it smells like watered down tacos. And that's just not going to work for me. So I'm just going to grab a water real quick and then we're going to move on to Aries. That's so weird because it didn't taste like I didn't like eat tacos today, but I went and drank that water and I was like, ew, what? Why does it taste like fucking hot dog water or something? It just tastes so weird. Bye, Kenneth. Have a good one. I love ya. All right. Let's go to Aries. All right, Aries. What is going on? How you doing? Let's go ahead and see the new person in your life. Okay. Looks like a feminine. That's literally the card of Aries. Death. The Five of Wands reversed. Okay. How interesting. The Queen of Wands, the Six of Pentacles reversed with the Page of Pentacles. So, I mean, this is somebody who is quite confident in themselves. This can be somebody who, gets straight to the point. They can be kind of loud but very sexy. This can be when this person walks into a room, everybody kind of looks. That can be the vibe with them. But you may feel like they are taking advantage of that. Like you may feel as though this person uses beauty to their advantage, right? um you may feel like this person is so confident that you feel as though you're not really getting what you're worth out of them. However, what you do seem to be, or how you seem to be perceiving them, is somebody who is putting in a genuine effort into getting to know you or trying to understand you. You may just feel like they're not willing to give too much. And it's because this person seems to be pretty independent and pretty secure within themselves. So they don't really, it seems like they don't really feel the need to overcompensate in some way or overgive or trip over their own fucking feet in order to get you to pay attention to them. I think that this person naturally probably commands attention. And so you may feel like it may be a little awkward for you. Maybe you were expecting more, but I do feel like this person is putting in a genuine effort. You just may expect more. I don't know. Maybe you're somebody who's used to having people fall all over themselves in order to get your attention. I don't know. I don't know, right? Aries loves to be first, right? So, but I feel like you kind of met your match with this one if that is the case, because I don't think that this person is gonna fall over themselves to, get a date with you or whatever it is. But I do think that they're interested, but it may feel a little intimidating because maybe you want them to pay more attention to you, but I feel like people pay attention to them. You know what I mean? So it may be a little like awkward, but they're genuinely interested though. Wow. The moon with the death card, and wow, all major arcanas. So the death card can be somebody who, works for the IRS. It can be a financial advisor. It can be, a drug abuse counselor. It can be a trauma specialist. It can even be an insurance broker, or it can be somebody that actually works in funeral homes or something like that. But you think about the death card, it's Scorpio. That energy, Scorpio can be like other people's money, or, it can be where we merge with another. But the death card is quite literally death. So this person may just help transform people's lives in some way, maybe. But the death card is likely a very intense job. It's probably not easy either. This can be somebody who maybe is a writer, right? Maybe they're some kind of poet with that moon there. Maybe they write about very dark stuff. Maybe they're like a Venus in Scorpio or a Mercury in Scorpio or something like that. This can be somebody who maybe works in film or something like that. But with that Queen of Wands there, it makes me feel as though there's something very performative about this person. So maybe their career has something to do with that, but at the same time, this person feels very not like an actual investigator. I mean, maybe, but it's like they get down to the nitty gritty of things. And they're able to transform through their career, or I feel like wherever they go, they just kind of change shit. Um, but it feels like it's something that's very intense. It's almost like they are able, like in their work, there's something about their work where they're able to like sniff out the weak spots, or they can get down to the bottom of things. It feels very intense though. So this person's intention with you, the Five of Wands reversed, the King of Swords reversed, and the Sun. What's that King of Swords reversed? Three of Pentacles. Okay. Well, I feel like this is somebody who's not interested in drama. I don't think they're interested in arguing with you. I don't think they're interested in fighting or creating any kind of drama or anything like that. I don't even think they're trying to bring their ego into it. I do think that this is a very confident person though. I got to be honest with you. They're pretty fucking confident, reverse it if you need to. Shit, maybe this is you, right? But I don't feel like they're going to tell you everything. I think with that King of Swords reversed, I feel like they're going to keep some things to themselves. This may be a bit of a secretive person, and secretive isn't always bad. Sometimes you got to shut the fuck up, Sometimes you got to be quiet, not tell everybody your shit, right? Sometimes you have to learn the hard way. But I definitely think that this person just wants to get along and wants to learn about you, and they I don't think that they want to assume anything about you. I think that they genuinely are curious. It's like they're trying to keep an open mind about things, and I think that they want to make you happy. From what I see, the Sun is here. So, um I don't really see anything too negative. So this is your advice. Seven of Wands reversed and the Hermit. Like I said, please reverse this if you need to. Um, some of you are going to feel intimidated by this person with that Seven of Wands reverse, okay? And when we're feeling intimidated, it's usually because there's a trigger to our ego. Something's happening where our ego is being triggered in some way or another, and it's uncomfortable, right? It's fucking uncomfortable. It is, because the ego is the shell. It is what we believe protects us, and it kind of does to an extent, right? But it's asking you to just be open to the experience if this is something that you're interested in, and humble yourself, you know. I'm not saying that you're an egomaniac, you know, I'm not saying any of that stuff, but there may be certain things about this person that do trigger you, and it's going to feel uncomfortable, and it's kind of asking you to look within and ask yourself why that is. Um, you know, I met this girl like last year at the gym, and I had just I felt like I didn't really I don't talk to a lot of people. So sometimes when I would talk to people, I would just overshare the shit, right? And I did that with this girl, and I just like let off and just said a bunch of things that I wish I would have never said. And I felt really awkward about it because I was like I was venting about an ex at the time, and I didn't want to do that. And so like I had texted her later and I was like, "Hey, I'm a little embarrassed about how I conducted myself. I just feel like I kept that in for a really long time and I didn't want to." And so she came back to me and she goes, "You know, sometimes when I think about what I don't like about somebody, I ask myself if I like that about me." Because we all like whatever we complain about with it within reason, right? We do the same thing under a different umbrella. Right. So if maybe you don't like the way somebody expresses themselves or whatever, is it because they are very confident maybe in how they're expressing themselves, and you wish that you were more confident? Or maybe it's something else entirely. Maybe you feel like somebody is too pompous or whatever. And then it's, you know, you got to think about when are the times that you have been pompous or egotistical in a conversation because your ego got involved. And we're all human. That's how it happens. And you live and you learn and you try to change, right? And then you move on. But so I think it's important um, when conducting yourself with this person. So that's what I have for you, Aries. Thank you so much. I hope you will like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you would like to book a super chat question with me to get your cards read during this live, then you can go ahead and do so at hypsee.com/Violetta Alexis. Taurus. How is the temperature? It's good. I already knew to take off that fucking button up. I already knew. I just did it at the beginning because I knew I was going to strip anyway. It's like I know I'm going to get hot in here. It's going to get spicy. All right, Taurus, what's going on? I hope that you guys are doing well. Let's go ahead and see what's going on for maybe some new love in your life. The 10 of Pentacles reversed. Great. The Devil for this person's line of work. Okay, could be a Capricorn. 6 of Wands reversed for their intent with you or towards you. All right, let's see. Okay, I got Scorpio here as well. So the Judgment can talk about the past. So it's either that this is a relationship that failed. This is a relationship that failed and this person is waiting on a return. Or it's that this is somebody who maybe is not interested in committing. And so, when you meet this person, this could be somebody who's actually going through a breakup or going through some kind of divorce, or this person actually may not be interested in like a full-blown relationship with that 10 of Pentacles reverse. And I feel like with that 3 of Wands and the Judgment, they may be willing to explore it, right? Like they may be open to it. Tell me about that Judgment. 2 of Swords reversed. I feel like they're open to it. I feel like they're open to it. But they may be very honest with you about it, you know, because the Judgment is very accountable. It's very honest. And so it makes me wonder if this is somebody who is just going to be straight up like, hey, listen, I just got out of a relationship, or hey, listen, I just finalized my divorce. You know, I'm just trying to like stay open and everything, but I don't want to rush maybe. But they're open though. The 3 of Wands is open to having fun, right? Because what comes after the Three of Wands? The Four of Wands. They may be open to having fun. They may be open to hanging out at the house. They may be open to going out with you or whatever the case. But that Judgment there tells me that there's a deeper something or another. Okay. There may be a deeper sense of truth. This person is going to likely be very, very honest with you about whatever that truth is. And it's something that they're just probably going to put right out there. If they haven't already, if you're already talking with this person, I feel like they probably already put it out there. Or this is a past person. So we have the Devil, and so this is for their career field or maybe what they do in their free time. Then we have the Page of Wands, and then we have the Lovers reversed. Okay, so the Devil. When it comes to careers with the Devil, it can be about negotiating. This can be somebody who is in self-employment. Maybe they're a criminal lawyer. This can be somebody who does farming or mining, or maybe they are some kind of executive. You think about the Devil, and the Devil is Saturnian because it's Capricorn, right? And Capricorn or Saturn can represent like government officials, or it can represent people like in, like kind of a patriarchal system. So maybe it's the IRS, maybe it's, the freaking government in some way. Maybe they work for the government, but maybe they also just work in business, in some kind of business, like very structured, maybe kind of male dominated field. The Page of Wands and the Lovers reverse. It makes me feel like this person has been very stuck on like a career path for a while, or very stuck in their field, or maybe even very like addicted to it. Even, some people are addicted to their work, but I feel like they want something new, but they don't really know like what that is. The Lovers reverse tells me that, there may be a question of faith, or there may be a question of who they really are, or what matters most to them, or what their values or their morals are, or whatever it is, like what are they building their foundation on. And so this may be somebody that when you meet them, if you haven't already, they may be trying to explore that or kind of figure that out. And for some of you, it can be that this person is actively looking, but they don't really know what they're looking for. Maybe something has changed within them. Maybe the divorce changed them, or whatever. Their intent with you is the Six of Wands reversed, the Two of Pentacles reversed, and the Nine of Cups reversed. Ew, excuse the double chin. Couldn't really hold that one in. I feel like this person probably is likely not going to shower you with a bunch of attention and give you all of this validation and all of these things. If anything, I think that they're confused when you meet them, or they don't really know what they want, or they're not really making practical decisions, or they may be making very egotistical, selfish decisions. And it can be very much about just what they want, and they may not really have any consideration for what you want or what you desire in a relationship, or whatever the case may be. Your advice, the Page of Cups and the Eight of Wands. It can be something or someone at a distance. The Page of Cups for the advice is like, keep it light, keep it light, be vocal. And that's pretty much it. Like, keep it light, don't get too overly invested, right? Don't like dedicate your entire life to being with this person and making sure that they love you. Like, keep it light. Like, keep yourself open, keep the conversation light, you know what I mean? And speak your piece. But I wouldn't give too much to this, at least right now. Okay. So that is what I have for you, Taurus. Thank you so much. I hope that you will like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to book a super chat question to get your cards read during this live, then you can go ahead and do so at hypsee.com/Violetta Alexis. Thanks a lot, Taurus. Have a good one. Let's go ahead and take a look at Gemini. what the fuck am I doing? I'm so out of it. I'm so sorry. All right. The Ace of Cups reverse, Gemini, for how this person is portraying themselves. The Temperance in reverse for their job or their career, what they do in their free time. The Knight of Pentacles for their intention with you. So let's go ahead and take a look at that Ace of Cups reversed first. The Ace of Cups reverse, the Ace of Wands, and the Six of Swords. Okay. You may be perceiving them as a bit emotionally drained for some reason, although there is a mutual attraction, in my opinion. I think that this person is likely taking initiative. I don't think that, kind of like Aries person, I don't think that they're going to fall all over their feet in order to have something with you. I don't think that they're going to like beg to be with you or anything like that, but I think this person will initiate it. And if they feel like it's a no, they're likely just going to walk away. They're not going to make a big deal about it. I think this person genuinely, like, well, at least from how they're portraying themselves, they may portray themselves as a person who really loves themselves, has a lot of self-love, which is a good thing, right? You want somebody that loves themselves, right? Now for some of you, okay, this can be a past person. I know that we're not talking about that, but it can be with that Six of Swords there. This can be somebody who is intending to resolve something with you. Okay. They may be trying to move on from some old baggage between the two of you, but ultimately it looks pretty peaceful. It looks like this person is just trying to start up a conversation or even have sex with you. To be totally honest with you, the Ace of Wands is very much a phallic shape, you know? And so it can't be this person is trying to have sex with you. So what's that Six of Swords? Let me just see for shits and giggles. The Justice. Yeah, I feel like this person may be trying to make something right with you, or they may be trying to see if this is reciprocal or if this is equal. And if it's not, they're not going to make a big deal about it. Or if this is a past person and they're trying to resolve something with you and you're not interested in doing that, they'll probably just kind of move on, honestly. As far as their career field or maybe what they like to do in their free time, we have the Temperance reversed. So the Temperance can talk about like a healer or, careers in the news or maybe a wellness coach, or this can be somebody who works, in foreign affairs or works in a different country, or they may travel a lot for work. The Temperance reversed is reversed though. So they're either not very good at their job or they're not at peace in their line of work. This may be somebody who potentially wants more freedom in their work, or maybe they want more creativity at their job. With the Four of Wands and the Four of Cups there, I'm almost getting this energy like they really don't like 4 plus 4 equals 8. 8 is Saturnian. It's almost like they don't like some kind of structure maybe, or how things are set up at their job or at their work. But I think what this person really wants is more freedom. I feel like they want more freedom. I feel like they want to have fun. They're probably one of the types of people who's like, life isn't meant to be like this. We're not supposed to work, 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 and then, die and, only be, uh, you know, after retirement, live for another 5 years and then die. That's not how we're supposed to live. That might be this person's like kind of perspective on life. The Knight of Pentacles. Wow, 444. Interesting. So for this person's intention with you, the Knight of Pentacles, the Four of Pentacles, the Four of Pentacles reverse, and the High Priestess reverse, they're going to want to take their time. Okay. I also feel like they're working up to some kind of truth. So they may be taking their time being very honest with you about something. They may be trying to reveal something to you in time. What is that thing? The Queen of Pentacles, that they want a relationship. So it may be something that they're slowly but surely working up to. And I think that they want to do it right. I feel like there's a genuine commitment here, or there's a desire of a commitment. And I feel like they're willing to take a chance. They're willing to kind of shoot their shot. They're willing to put themselves out there. And I feel like in due time, they're probably going to tell you that they want a commitment or a relationship. Your advice, Page of Swords, Queen of Cups, reverse. This may be telling you not to like totally fully go in yet, right? Like listen to your instincts, make sure that you're being open-minded, but also make sure that you're being very observant when it comes to this person. Don't just listen to everything that you hear, watch what they do or what they don't do, right? And I would advise that to anybody, but specifically you, okay? So that's what I have for you, Gemini. Thank you so much. I hope that you will like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to book a super chat question to get your cards read during this live, then you can do so at hypsee.com/Violetta Alexis. Thanks a lot, Gemini. Have a good one. Oh man, really? Wow. Okay. Whoops. Hold on, I gotta shuffle some. Okay. What's up, Tom? Oh my God. Hi, Sean. Long time no see. How you doing? Two more shuffles. Two more shuffles. God, I feel like I work in a fucking Vegas casino. What's up, Sun Love? Oh no. All right, now we have Cancer. What's going on, Cancer? How are you? Let's go ahead and see what is going on for new love in your life. The Tower, Scorpio and Aries. The Eight of Pentacles reversed for this person's job. The King of Pentacles. Ew. Get out. For their intent. Okay, Cancer. Let's go ahead and see. Damn. All right. Ooh, Eight of Cups reversed. Well, okay. So this can be somebody who literally comes out of fucking nowhere. Okay. They come out of nowhere. You know, maybe you know, you run into them at the grocery store, like literally run into them and you spill all your groceries, right? Or this person could just literally like come out of nowhere, like totally unexpected, not like a complete surprise. Okay. This person can be very different, a little wacky, a little weird, or just very unique, but unique in a way where almost like a Uranus opposite Uranus transit, where it's like a very shocking personality, or um just very, I don't know if liberal is the right word. They may just have very shocking ideas, or maybe a very different kind of person, maybe a bit of a rebel in some way. This person is like a bat out of hell. For some of you, this is a past person with that Eight of Cups reversed. Okay. The Eight of Cups reversed can sometimes talk about when somebody is going back to another person, or we're revisiting something that we had once left. This can be somebody who has walked away and is coming back around, but if it's not that, Four of Swords reversed. So this may be somebody who does kind of come out of nowhere. They could end up causing a little bit of, I hate to say it, but destruction or chaos in your life with that Tower there. And the Four of Swords reversed and the Eight of Cups reversed makes me feel like this person, either they may have like mental health issues, or this can be somebody who's like settling even though they're not over something else. Okay, so something else you want to be careful of. This, so what I mean by that is like this can be somebody who uses you as a rebound. Okay, so please be careful of that. Um, You know what it feels like? Um, it feels like they have the both feet on the gas pedal and the brake at the same time. And they're kind of going nowhere. It's like they're just kind of they're staying in place while trying to move. It's almost like when you try to you get your heart broke and so you try to jump into something else, but it's really you're just attracting the same exact person in a different body, right? Because that's who you're going to attract until you evolve or change, kind of thing. That's what this person kind of reminds me of. Give me one more on that tower. The hangman. Feel like this person is having some serious fucking ego deaths, some revelations, like their whole perspective has changed. This may be somebody who ends up making some big kind of sacrifice in their life when you meet them if you have not met them yet. But this is like a okay, it's very I don't want to say it's unsettling. It's just very shocking. So then we have the Eight of Pentacles reversed for this person's career with the Wheel of Fortune and then the Three of Cups. Okay. Well, the Eight of Pentacles can be about routine. So this can be like maybe an apprentice or somebody who works with their hands. Maybe they build something with their hands, or they're constantly using their hands in their work in some way. This can be maybe a technician, or this can be, it's Sun in Virgo as well. So maybe it's like a writer or a health or a fitness coach. Maybe it's a doctor or a nurse or somebody in the medical field, something like that. It seems like their job is very routine. But I feel like when you meet them, if you don't know who this person is yet, then the Eight of Pentacles reverse can be somebody who's like sick of their job, or somebody who feels like they keep hacking away at something and it's just not going anywhere, or it's not changing, or whatever it may be. And I feel like this person wants more with that Wheel of Fortune and that Three of Cups. Like this person wants more. This person may have a talent for instilling hope in other people. There may be a religious or a spiritual connotation to this with the Wheel of Fortune being Jupiter. They may want to travel more. They may want to travel for work in some way. They may travel on their own time. This may be a very social person as well with that Three of Cups there. Maybe they work with a lot of people or something like that. A lot of their friends could be from their work. But it feels like this person is kind of bored and they want movement forward, or they want some kind of expansion. The King of Pentacles reversed. Ooh. Ooh. I hate it. I hate it. I'm sorry, Cancer. I hate it. So this person's, you know, intention with you is the King of Pentacles reversed, the Five of Swords, and the Knight of Cups reversed. I feel like this person is a liar, if I'm being totally honest with you. I feel like this person is a liar. I feel like they're an emotional manipulator. I think that this person would literally say anything in order to get their emotional needs met, or potentially financial needs met. If you're somebody who like has a lot of money, or maybe you're just someone who has a lot to offer or whatever, I feel like this person could end up, latching onto your coattails in order to kind of ride that wave or get a little piece of your pie, in more ways than one. So I am not a huge fan. I think that you need to be careful of being used, basically, by this person. Your advice is the Hierophant and the Magician. So, when it comes to this, I think it's very important that you stick to your morals and your values, and you stand on business when it comes to those things, because I feel like truly you are the one with the power, and the ball's in your court, essentially. Okay. So thank you so much, Cancer. I hope that you will like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you would like to book a super chat question and get your cards read during this live, then you can head on over to hypsee.com/Violetta Alexis, and you can book with me there. All right, let's go ahead and move on to last but not least, Leo. What's going on, Leo? I hope that you guys are doing well. Let's go ahead and take a look at this new person in your life, or maybe it's somebody that you're just now talking to. The Two of Cups, the World reversed, and the King of Cups reversed. Okay, well, let's go ahead and take a look at that Two of Cups there. The Empress reversed, and the Ten of Cups. Why is the Empress reversed? Well, I mean, I feel like this person, you know, they may have some self-worth or self-value issues. This may be somebody who ends up falling in love with you or wants a true and honest to God connection and an honest to God relationship, but there may be a lot of insecurities that they're still working through when you meet them, or if you've already met them, that may be something that they're going through now. This is somebody who you will likely have a very sweet connection with. There's a very strong emotional understanding between you and them, and you're going to view them as somebody that you either enter a relationship or maybe that you're even already in a relationship with now. But you may feel like this is somebody who has a lot of triggers, or this is somebody who's easily triggered based on around their own insecurities. And you could feel like they tried to control you in some way, or you could feel like they're being very aggressive, or um whatever it is. Like they're almost like that energy of like you're doing too much, it can kind of be that. But nonetheless, there's still this affection that you seem to have. There's still this emotional stability, or there's a lot of emotional support that you see coming from this person. So besides like the insecurity issues that could sabotage the relationship, I feel like this is something that can be worked through, especially because this person, it's like that saying, if there's a will, there's a way. This person seems to love the fuck out of you. If I'm being honest, like they seem to really love the shit out of you, like really, really love you. So I think that that's a bonus. Um, but love isn't all there is, obviously, right? If that was the case, a lot of people would still be together. But I think that this person loves you enough to implement the change, or they will love you enough. And I think it's really sweet. I don't think that they don't seem like a bad person. Okay. They just seem like they have insecurities like everybody else. So the World reversed, the Star, and the Ace of Swords. Wow. How interesting. Well, the world for careers can sometimes be in the government because the world is Saturnian. However, it can talk about somebody that maybe works with foreigners, or somebody that works with, involved in foreign affairs, or maybe they work for a foreign online business or something like that. This can be somebody who has an overseas job, right? Maybe they're in the military. I don't know. Maybe they work for the government. Maybe they are a teacher. This person can be a bit of a teacher or some kind of guide. But it feels like with that world reversed in regards to their career, there may be like a maturation process that's occurring in their career when you meet them, or maybe you even know them now, that they're still trying to kind of figure out. They may have some other things that they wanted to do in regards to their career, but maybe didn't know how to do it, or maybe they still needed some schooling or some training for it or something like that. But I think that the Star being here is so beautiful. The Star can be somebody who's in entertainment, or an influencer, or works in the public eye in some way, or an astrologer. Even sometimes the Star can be an astrologer or somebody famous. But the Star is also somebody who acquires knowledge and then shares it with the world. So maybe this person is a bit of a teacher in some way. And with that Ace of Swords, maybe they're a writer. This person to me very much cares about humanity. Because the Star is Aquarius, which is the humanitarian. So I feel like the knowledge that they share with the world is their own personal truth. I really, really, really like this. To be honest, I really, really like this. Um, there's a lot of truth that they share with the world, and with good intent, I think. Now, King of Cups reversed. The Seven of Swords. The Empress reversed again. Well, they're showing up as the Empress reversed. How fascinating. That is fascinating. Taurus, Libra, Gemini, Scorpio, Aquarius. Tell me about that Seven of Swords. The Tower reversed. Because this person is showing up as a feminine, I'm going to assume you are the King of Cups reversed. Okay. This person, quite frankly, may be trying to avoid losing you. But the way that they go about it may end up being quite controlling or overbearing in some way. It makes me feel like they think that you are full of it. Okay. They may believe that you are full of it in some way, or that you are manipulative, or maybe you are not. Tell me about that King of Cups reversed, the Page of Wands, or that you're emotionally immature. And they could, oh, I see what's going on. This person, okay, this is weird. This person feels like you have an emotional immaturity that they feel is their obligation to mother in some way, which is like, that's not hot, right? On either side, if that's the case. So let's just see what your advice is. The Ten of Pentacles reversed. The Page of Swords reversed. So this is not about, when it comes to like a relationship, or when it comes to being more future oriented or focusing on the future or whatever it is, it's trying to tell you maybe not to assume things. If you have a question, ask, or maybe just it's needing to be a little bit more mutable in your thinking. So a little bit more open-minded, or a little bit more receptive of information, as opposed to assuming certain things, which could kind of get you stuck in the mud a little bit. So yeah. I wouldn't get involved with any kind of like gossip, rumors, drama, immature behavior, anything like that. Okay, if you can help it. So that is what I have for you, Leo. Thank you guys so much. I hope that you will like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to book a super chat question and get your cards read during the live, then you can do so over here at hypsee.com/Violetta Alexis. Thanks a lot, Leo. Take it easy. Okay. All right. Now I have to go pee. I gotta go pee. Feel free to, get your super chats in or whatever you gotta do, but I really have to use the restroom, so I will be back in just a second. Thanks, Brian. Well, I love me a good daddy. Okay. All right, I'll be right back. All right, let's do this. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay, what's up, Enigma? It's nice to see you, baby. Okay. I knew I shouldn't have gone to the gym before I went live. I just knew I shouldn't have. I'm sorry, Enigma. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why you didn't get the notification. I'm really sorry. There's nobody in here anyway. Don't worry about it. Okay. Let's do this. All right. Super chatter number 1. Let me read this. Okay. All right. Let me see. The Nine of Pentacles reverse tells me that there may be a little bit of a missed step here, or it's that you're needing to go back and you're needing to rework something. So do you need to, I don't know, I'm going to think of the dumbest example. Do you need to redesign your page? Do you think that maybe instead of using that platform, maybe you use TikTok or something like that? So it's basically saying that there's something that you need to go back and fit into whatever this is, or there's something that you're needing to go back and relearn, or you're needing to work on before being able to do this fully. Can you tell me a little bit about what that is? The Emperor. I feel like using your own voice was definitely the way to go. Um, the Emperor is about accepting a certain level of power and authority in your own life, or what it is that you're attempting to create. So the Emperor is not going, he's going to push his petty feelings or petty insecurities or whatever it may be to the side, and he's going to do what he needs to do in order to take the lead, or she, right? Whatever. So this is really about coming on full circle and truly being the leader in your own life. And even if that means using your own voice for the thing. If I can make a recommendation, I would do TikTok. TikTok is probably the easiest place to get seen. So something to kind of think about there. But let me see. Um, You may want to, if you can, like hire a strategy consultant. The Seven of Pentacles can kind of help you with that. So don't be afraid to really invest into this. Maybe trying to even just ask chat GPT some really great ideas or some marketing ideas. Chat GPT is really great for helping you come up with like a posting schedule or something like that. So don't be afraid to kind of put your money into it or put a lot of energy into it to be able to structure it in the way that you want it to work out. Because I think it's kind of interesting that the Nine of Pentacles is in reverse and then the Seven of Pentacles is here. The only thing that's really missing in between that would be the Eight of Pentacles. So something needs to be kind of reworked or reconfigured, right? Maybe you're needing to post at different times, right? I'm just thinking of really stupid ideas, but I feel like you can do it, but you're going to have to like go full throttle on it. If you really want to do it, you're going to have to go full throttle and really kind of become your own CEO over yourself as if you were your own employee. Do you know what I'm saying? So you're needing to master that and not be afraid of it. The Emperor is Aries. You know, the Aries archetype is kind of militant, right? But Aries is a leader. And even if Aries is afraid, it's still going to do it because it's courageous, because Aries is courageous. Sometimes fearless to a fault, right? But courageous nonetheless. So I feel it's really about implementing that courage. Any preconceived notions that you have, any insecurities, baggage that you're taking with you don't need to take that with you where you're going. All you need to do is take the wisdom that you have acquired and you're needing to apply it there. Eight of Wands, be vocal. You know, maybe talk about your past. Don't be afraid to be transparent to a point, right? Obviously, don't put everything out there. But I really feel like the more that you share about either your past experiences or maybe about grief or you know, maybe just things that you're sad about or whatever, I feel like the better. Yeah, see? Ten of Swords reversed. How you've evolved, things like this, and being very vocal, almost like in a teaching way, I think would be very positive for you. Thank you so much, and obviously the best of luck. I'm excited for you. It's a big journey. All right, we have number 2. Two of Pentacles reversed. Give me one more for that one. Queen of Swords reversed. I really want you to be incredibly cautious when it comes to the way that you're spending or budgeting your money. The Queen of Swords reversed, she can sometimes make very illogical and irrational decisions because she's having an emotional upset or because she's really pissed off. So with the Two of Pentacles in reverse accompanying the Queen of Swords reverse, this can be somebody who makes very dumb decisions because they're upset or they're overly emotional. So that can even be somebody who goes and like, I'm going to go to Vegas and I'm going to blow all my money, you know, and obviously that's a very extreme version, but basically just be cautious that your emotional upheavals or whatever is not affecting your decision making, especially when it comes to financial matters. Yeah, King of Pentacles. Definitely focus on your business. If you have a business, focus on your business. Maybe there is somebody that you can ask for business advice from or financial advice from. Somebody who, yeah, look at that. Something about finances. Five of Pentacles reversed now. It can also be about needing to know your value in a certain career field or in a certain business that maybe you're attempting to build. This can also be about if you're like in a marriage or a relationship, this can be about, you know, coming together and understanding that just because we have differences doesn't mean that anything is different. Just means that we have differences and that's okay. But this feels a little bit more financial. The Magician. So if you're looking to get into a better financial situation or you're looking to pay off debts, it's literally telling you that you have everything that you need in order to make that happen or to improve your situation. So it's not about whether or not you can, it's about whether or not you will. So even if it's like you want to make more money, it's telling you that you literally are talented enough or you are skilled enough to be able to do that. Or if you want to be able to get out of debt, you know, it's like it's saying that you have the ability to do these things. You just need to put the effort forward. Like, for instance, for the longest time, right? I was like putting off doing my tarot course and I was putting off doing my tarot course and I was putting off doing my tarot course because I didn't want to have to set everything up in OBS and do all this. And then like finally one day I just fucking did it and it wasn't that big of a deal. You know, I like sometimes I think in our minds we can make something so much a bigger deal than it actually is when we just need to like look at it in a bite-sized way where we just need to kind of You know, take one little thing at a time. Wow. More pentacle energy, huh? So the lovers and the knight of pentacles, what's that lovers? The seven of swords reversed. So if this is about love specifically, this is saying you need to be very honest about what it is that you want in a relationship, what it is that you want intimately, and whether or not a relationship you know, has the ground to stand on, or, you know, whether or not this relationship fits your morals and your values and your belief systems that are important to you. And if you're single, it's this still applies, and it's asking you to take things slow and not jump into something so quickly. Now, if this is not necessarily about a relationship, if you're not looking for love, or you've already been in a relationship for a long time and everything's great, great. This is telling you that don't be afraid to make selfish decisions. And that doesn't mean where you're acting like a piece of shit to anybody or anything like that, but don't be afraid to put yourself first when it comes to higher self decisions in regards to the things that you want to achieve and the things that you want to work on. It's okay to choose yourself. It's okay to put yourself first sometimes. Just take your time, and I feel like the rest will kind of follow through. So let me see what else here. Hmm. More pentacle energy. Like, it feels to me like you've been disappointed for a while about like a missed opportunity, or maybe you felt like you had too much on your plate to be able to put an effort towards something else, is kind of what I'm getting with that. Like, for instance, right? I am Sometimes I get very overwhelmed, but I think that's because, once again, we can make things bigger than they really are sometimes, you know? It doesn't mean that our feelings are not important and da 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 da, right? But once again, it's sometimes just looking at things in little increments as opposed to as one big picture. So, like for me, I really love to write, and it's important for me to do that. And I like to carve out a little bit of time to be able to do that on a day to day basis. And eventually, you know, a project will get done, or what I need to get done will get done. So it doesn't mean that something is necessarily a missed opportunity. Maybe it's just that you need to restructure something, or you need to offer more time for yourself to be able to achieve these things that you want to achieve. But I feel like some of the problems that you have, the fuck is that? Sorry. The problems that you have right now, some of these are good problems to have. You know, and what I mean by that is, for instance, I used to get really aggravated because my children went to 2 different schools and they were at 2 different times, and it used to drive me crazy because I was doing like 8 trips a day or whatever it was. Okay, I was like losing my mind. But like at the same time, how nice is it that I have a vehicle where I can pick up my kids and drop them off every day, right? What a blessing it is to have these beautiful children that I can do this for, that I know that love me, you know? And sometimes it's hard to look at things like that. But I really want to say, with that 4 of Cups reversed and that 10 of Wands, I feel like there are some, what feels like a burden is actually a good problem to have. And like, you know, imagine I didn't have the car. If I didn't have the car, right? Like, how shitty would that be? Right? And so then when these things are taken away from us sometimes, then that's when we realize how good we really had it, or God, I wish I'd be taking those 8 trips a day now. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like the more grateful for you are for the things in your life, the more that you will acquire, I guess, or have. Thank you so much. I hope that that helps. Number 2. It's nice to see you, by the way. All right, we have number 3. Let me see. The Knight of Wands and the 3 of Swords reversed. I think everyone is a part of our soul path, but that's just my opinion. I think that this was somebody who may not be necessarily like a forever thing with that Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands is about passion and creativity and that spark, and taking action on that spark. And the Three of Swords reverse can be about healing through that. So this person may have kind of lit a fire under your ass a little bit in order to get you to heal something or in order to get you to evolve in some way. And I'm not saying that that's what their intent was going into it, but when we go through these breakups or these relationship things or whatever the case may be, we usually, right, if we're in the right mind, we do end up learning a lot, right? So I feel like she was here to teach you something through kind of lighting that spark. As far as your second one about the preparing for someone else, within reason, I would say yes. There may have been some instabilities or insecurities on her side. This person may have been a little bit mean to you, or there was just maybe she wasn't as nurturing as you'd like, or there was just some upheavals. Once again, I feel like this was somebody who taught you to be more logical or be a bit more of a leader in your own right. I Obviously I can't speak for you, but from what I'm seeing with the cards, it doesn't really feel like a forever thing with this person. But I do think that there was a reason why she was supposed to trigger you in this way. Thank you so much, number 3. I really appreciate it. Then we have number 4. Okay. Let's see the intentions. Okay. Nine of Wands, Six of Wands. I feel like this is the type of person that would fight for your attention. you know. I need to pull more. Okay. What's that? Strength reversed, the Ace of Wands. I think part of it is ego. I think another part is wanting to be understood by you. Um, with the Nine of Wands and the Six of Wands, this can be somebody whose intent is to fight for it, but there may be a part of it that is a bit ego driven. Okay. And that Two of Cups reversed, the Strength reverse, I don't want to say that they're dedicated to misunderstanding you, but for true connection to happen, that Two of Cups needs to be in the upright. And for this to be their intent and it's in the reverse, once again, it feels more because I want you to see, right? I just want you to see. Well, let me just put the camera the other way. Okay. All right. So you can see here Nine of Wands, wand energy, Six of Wands, wand energy, strength, Leo, fire energy, fire energy, fire energy, fire energy, Ace of Wands. That's the phallic shape. It's very sexual. I think that once again, there's a lot of ego in this, especially because that strength is reversed. And there's a lot of passion and there's a lot of attraction, which is really, really good. But for the Two of Cups to be reversed, it doesn't seem like the true intent is to understand or even necessarily be understood. It feels like it's a little bit more about fighting for something that feeds the ego as opposed to the soul. So I'm not saying that he has bad intentions, but I don't think that they're well placed. Let's get some advice. Should she proceed? The Two of Wands reversed and the Temperance. I think that you really need to take your time really thinking about this and whether or not this is something that you really want to revisit. The Two of Wands reverse can be where we're needing to pause for a second and we're needing to rethink something. Why? The Fool. So the Fool, it can be asking the reason why you need to rethink this. It can be about, has someone actually changed? Is the baggage being left at the door or are we carrying it with us, right? And that can talk about him, you, or the both of you. And so I feel like you're needing to really maybe take it a little bit slower. I think you're needing to take it very, very, very slow. I think that you're needing to move with caution, okay? And patience with him and yourself. Okay, should she not proceed? The Two of Swords. Get one more for that. King of Cups. I think you can make peace with this person. Um, uh, See that Two of Swords and that King of Cups. I think that the only reason that you should proceed with this particular individual is if peace can be made through vulnerability, maturity, and a proof of real change, proof of real emotional maturity and understanding. Because once again, remember, I told you that that Two of Cups is reversed. So the emotional component, it's like, where is it? So this is not like, if this person tries to avoid emotional conversations or tries to avoid true emotional depth, I feel like that would be a red flag. So if you see these things, if you see the emotional maturity after a consistent amount of time, not for a weekend, not for a week, none of that. If you see it for a consistent amount of time, then I think that you can move forward, but only after, not before. So something to think about with this. Okay. Thanks a lot, number 4. Number 5. All right, let me see. The High Priestess for feelings and the Ace of Swords reversed. What's the Ace of Swords reversed? The Knight of Cups. So I feel like this is somebody who finds you very desirable, and so they're trying to listen uh, they're trying to listen to their intuition when it comes to that, because I do think that this is somebody who feels like you are very desirable. I feel like I've got this card for this person before, but they may not be telling you everything, or they may not be certain about their feelings necessarily. Like, they may find you desirable and all these things, but the Ace of Swords reverse is when we kind of have a lack of clarity a little bit. And that the lack of clarity is around what? The Knight of Cups, how we're feeling. Do we want to take action in regards to our feelings? So I feel like there's, at least he's questioning it, right? But there is a very, I think that there's a strong emotional pull, and I think that part of it is also a little sexual, right? As far as visiting you this summer, the Eight of Cups reversed. Is this, if, I need one more on that. The Six of Swords. So I guess I would say yes, but the Eight of Cups reverse kind of threw me off a little bit. The Eight of Cups reversed threw me off, but the Eight of Cups reversed is to me would be a yes. But the Eight of Cups reverse is about going back to something that you once walked away from. So I don't know if you guys like had a falling out at some point or whatever. Just be cautious that they're not going back to something else in order to resolve it. But that Eight of Cups reverse kind of threw me off. So I feel like if this person has walked away from me before, or you've walked away from this person, then I feel like there's a return of that to resolve something. But that definitely threw me off. That Eight of Cups reverse threw me off. But I guess I would say yes if that's the case. Thanks a lot, darling. It's always good to see you. All right, number 6. Okay, let me see the feelings. Let me see the feelings first. The Page of Cups. Okay, I feel like this person admires you. You know, there's sweet feelings there. I feel like they want to be honest about those feelings. 3 of Cups reverse, 3 of Pentacles reverse. Listen, there's either a third party involved, or this person admires you but doesn't want to get together. And I don't think that that's the case. I really want you to be cautious of some kind of third party energy. I'm like, okay, well, the Three of Cups reverse, if it was just the Three of Cups reverse and it was another positive card, then I'm like, oh, okay, well, maybe they're just kind of like uncertain, or they just kind of feel like they need to spend some time alone right now, or whatever the case. But it's 2 3s, so it's kind of pulling up a red flag for me. So I want to say, in regards to that, to be careful, because there may be some kind of third party influence. Although I do feel like this person either has a crush on you or they admire you. Just be cautious with that. Intentions, the Queen of Wands. Okay. The queen, see that now there's 2 queens here. There's 2 queens and then there's 2 3s in reverse. I feel like there's too many cooks in the kitchen, baby. Too many cooks in the kitchen, in my personal opinion. Um, I do think they have a crush on you, or I do think that they have feelings. I do think that there's somebody else involved. I think this person is attracted to you. And I feel like they have a lot of faith or a lot of hope here. I think that maybe they want to share some things with you, or maybe be honest with you, or heal something with you if there's been any issues. But I would be careful with that, because I am not fond of that at all. How you should aligned way for you to respond. The Hermit. So the Hermit can be about, maybe it's about not being too available. It's about being all the wiser for what you have already experienced thus far, either with him or, outside of this connection. 6 of Pentacles. Okay. And the Moon. It's really about listening to your gut and making sure that you're putting your own emotional needs above all else, and your own sense of peace above all else. The Hermit is not about being too available. It's not about looking for external validation, or really any kind of validation outside of anything besides yourself. You can give a little, but I wouldn't give too much. And I would trust yourself on what it is that you're feeling at any given moment in regards to this particular connection. But I don't know if I like that. So I would just be very, very careful. Thank you so much, number 6. Number 7. Okay, let me see. Um, the Sun reversed and the King of Wands reversed. If you do, it's likely to be with a very, very strong Leo placement. Okay. I don't know if you're a masculine or a feminine, because your screen name is a bunch of numbers and letters. So I want to say this. If you are a masculine, you are really going to shit on your chances of being in a healthy relationship when you allow your ego to run the show. It's really about showing up as vulnerable and kind, right? I'm not saying that you're an unkind person, but don't let your ego run the show all the time, right? It can be nice to be a little cute or a little quirky, right? Maybe a little sarcasm here and there, but don't let it run the show, right? Let it be an interlude, okay? Don't let it run the show. It shouldn't be the main attraction. If you are not a masculine energy and you are a feminine energy, then I would say it's certainly possible, but it's likely going to be with somebody that I just mentioned. It's going to be with somebody who likely lets their ego run the show. Now, the thing about the Sun, even when it's reversed, it's still a pretty positive card. So I do believe that there can be um some optimism. I feel like there can be some hope that things will turn around, but don't like bet on that. Because if you look, right, that King of Wands reversed is not looking at that Sun, and that horse on here and the guy on the horse or whatever is looking away. They're looking away from each other. So this person may not even like recognize that about themselves, or they may refuse to notice it. The Knight of Swords reversed and the Six of Cups. I think you can, there's a Gemini or a Scorpio here potentially. So you could either reunite with somebody with that Six of Cups, or you can meet somebody who maybe it feels like they're a little bit passive, but it's a very sweet connection. You guys could start off as friends and it could end up being something a little bit more. And I feel like this is something that would hold a lot of depth as well. So I feel like it would be a very sweet connection where you guys create a lot of memories. So I feel like the opportunity is there for a relationship to be had, but it's whether or not this King of Wands reversed is going to turn upright. And it's whether or not you would be interested in this kind of person. So I feel like there's always the potential, but it's not showing me a solidification of an actual relationship. It just shows me that there may be opportunities. Thank you so much, number 7. All right, you guys, I'm going to get out of here. I love you all so much. I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful night. Thank you so much to Lori and everybody else that came through. Thank you to Kenneth and Complexity. I love you guys, and I hope that you have a really, really good evening. I will talk to you soon.